Hi everyone, it's Rachel Blue. I am here to give you your June Global Shifts Energy Update. It is really exciting and it's got a lot of transparency for a lot of people. May was kind of an awkward month. The first month, like I said, we kind of got through a lot the first half of the month, and then the second half of the month, they kind of hesitated on me giving you another update in the middle to the end of the month, the second week, the last 2 weeks, because they wanted to kind of condense it with what is going on now and what is going to go on through the month of June. And so through the month of May, obviously, we've all been clearing. The second half of May came through with the opening of a new Stargate, and that's got a lot of information for us and a lot of grace was the word. And that is kind of one of the words that they're giving me for the month, which is grace. But really, the word that they are using for the month, the theme that they are using for the month of June for you, is transcend. Whew. Now, I know that we've gone through platform work, we have gone through connecting to the platform, we have gone through lineage, we have gone through understanding how to reroute and go through frequencies, and we've had grid work and all of this, and it's all for us now through the month of June to go through transcending old patterns through a process. And it's very interesting. They even gave me a piece. I usually channel some messages and pieces of writing, and they gave me one to give to you, which I'll share in a little bit. But the transcending part is to transcend old patterns through this new Stargate and how we're going to be sliding through this opening. And it's going to take us a long time to go through this opening, you guys. This isn't going to be like an overnight thing. This is part of the new age, that the new time energy that we are living in this next 2160 years that we have just now kind of transcended into. And so we're going to be transcending old patterns. And so when you're clearing and when you are connecting and collecting information and you're clearing all of the 3 C's, we are basically getting ready to transcend through an old pattern and old thoughts and old energy. And that makes a lot of sense, because what you're doing is when you transcend the energy, through the energy, and you transcend to go to that higher place, you're creating the space of grace. You're creating that space of grace that you're able to now create the new space. You're able to create the new pattern. It is all about clearing, don't get me wrong, but there's another component that gives you, when you clear, you're creating space. And when you create space, then you are now going through a transcending process. And that transcending process is going to transcend the old patterns. You're clearing them, but now you're going to transcend through clearing them and through creating the new pattern that you've been looking for. Transcending. Okay, it goes with clearing. It goes with creating space. It goes with the word grace. And so I'm going to read to you what they gave me to read to you about the transcending time. Whew. There's a lot of energy coming through this video, so just keep going with it as I clear you as we're speaking. So you're transcending through patterns of long ago. Give you divine meaning and grace. To others you give of yourself. Love goes through all barriers given by events gone by. Like the journey, it begins with time, and so does grace. Time that you have created, time that you have accepted to live within. Neither one harbors limits or boundaries for anyone, regardless of who you are. Allowing your barriers to fall opens the gate for old patterns to transcend through light and transmute to the highest frequency, creating new space to complete the rebirth, a new beginning. You can go back and listen to that as many times as you like. You are creating and you are giving yourself time and grace to transcend into the space of your new beginning. It's a big moment for you in your clearing process because you're understanding that you're not just toiling, you're not just going through and you're not just drudging and going through your clearing another piece of this and another piece of that, and when is it going to end, and it is going to end, but you've got to understand that you've contracted now to go through this human experience, and we're here and we're going to go through it, and we're learning to go through it with the most grace, and we're going through it with the most efficient timing and transcending, going through old patterns. You're transcending the old patterns now through the month of June. It's going to feel like you actually are now going through that point of rebirth. Remember, we talked about that last month. You're going through that point of rebirth. You're now starting to come out on the other side, if that's you, through that 0 point and through that funnel. And so now going through the 0 point and going through the funnel, you're now transcending through old patterns. You're not necessarily having to clear anymore like all of the residual and all of the events that created the negative patterns that you have been clearing. Now what's going on is you're actually just kind of like transcending through it because a lot of you have cleared the root, you have cleared the seed, and now you're just clearing and you're transcending through that old pattern. And it's going through that point of grace. Letting down all the barriers, letting down all the conceived thoughts and the perceptions of what it's going to be like to surrender to all of that. Because that is where the point of rebirth for you exists. That makes a lot of sense this month, you guys. It's all about transcending. June. Transcending old patterns. Letting the walls and the barriers fall. Creating new space to complete the rebirth, a new beginning. It's exactly where it's going for you. It feels good, doesn't it? I can feel it going through your backs and going through your kidneys. I can feel everybody's bodies in your stomach and all of your systems, your nervous system, your core nervous system right now. Everything's just starting to relax and starting to fall. Everything is starting to relax because you're no longer looking for the clearing process to be over. You're going through the rebirthing process, and that can take as long as it's going to take. But you're also going through the transcending process all through the month of June. And you're just going to allow now. You've cleared and you've created some space, and you're going to allow yourself to go through the transcending of old patterns and allowing them to go through that new Stargate that has opened up the second half of May, and actually the 24th. It's going to feel good. It's going to feel different. Physical symptoms of going through this Stargate and going through this transcending process, I mean, for everybody. regardless of geographically where you are, because I know a lot of you all over the world watch the videos. So, regardless of where you are geographically, it's the symptoms are coming up to me all the same from people that I'm gathering information from, and it is kind of like a lightheadedness. It is kind of like a disorientation that you're kind of feeling, a little disoriented, a little kind of, you got to gather your thoughts to really even get the thought completed. Um, that's okay. It's kind of a little bit of dizziness going in there, because when we go through a new Stargate, it's kind. I mean, we've got solar systems and we've got galaxies and different things. What's going on is now we're going through a Stargate, and it looks like a large slit going through the universal system, and we're actually sliding. We're going to be sliding and going through it. And so you're going to be experiencing a loss of gravity to a particular degree, not to a very severe degree, but it is going to affect the frequency of where you're at. And so you're going to experience that on a physical level. It is going to go through the jaw. It is going to go up through the head. It is going to be experienced as kind of like, again, feeling a little disoriented, getting used to a whole new calculation, because you got to know that as you're going through it, you've got to transcend now and go through new calculations and new frequencies and new encodings of like what that new Stargate is going to look like for us on a whole. And so now you're going to be going through that. And that is good, because what that is doing is it's going to transcend you right through your old patterns. Woo! It's going to transcend you right through your old patterns. I can feel it all going through your lungs and your back right now. Just go ahead and keep accepting it, accept it, accept it. And it's going to transcend you right through there, you guys. Right through there, baby. It's going to feel so good to you. And it's going to feel like you can finally relax while you're sleeping. A lot of you have not been relaxing while you're sleeping. You've been kind of getting up in the middle of the night, kind of feeling like, again, off kilter, off balance, like something's going on, something's shifting. It's all shifting. We're constantly shifting. But now what's going on is because you've cleared so much, you're actually become a lot more sensitive and a lot more in tune and aware as to like what frequencies are now changing and what bands are changing and all the encodings that are changing as we go through this Stargate system. And so that's what's going on, you guys. In a nutshell, we've got a Stargate that opened. We've got a clean sweep is how we're going through it. And we are now transcending through our old patterns. We've cleared, we've created space enough to go through the Stargate. And now we're going to experience going through that. And it's going to be a phenomenal process. I have not got, I can't give you the time frame of how long it's going to take us to go through this. It could be like a decade for all I know. So when I do get more information on this incredible star system that we're going through and connecting with, I'll let you know. But as of right now, they kind of only want to give you, they're only going to give you incremental information because it's all you can handle. So let's go through this first, okay? Let's get through and go through the transcending of old patterns process, and then we'll go on to experiencing more of what this all new, this Stargate has to offer and open to us. And I'm really excited about that. Okay, you guys? Again, keep me updated. I love the emails. Keep going forward, and let's go through transcending through this process. You're probably going to crave a lot more natural. If you crave sugar, please keep it natural. The sugar is actually going to go through the transcending process, help you go through it a lot easier, actually. But again, not refined sugar. We're talking about like natural sugars coming from fruit and different things that are natural that have their own natural sugars. You're going to digest them a lot more fully and a lot better. It's going to become more clean fuel for you. And then again, if you're kind of feeling a little on the disoriented side and you're feeling kind of like that lightheadedness, I'm going to ask that you kind of go through the fruit and allow that kind of sugar to go through your body. And of course, protein, because that's also going to help ground and help gather the new information that's coming through for you. Okay, you guys, I love you. Keep on clearing. Let's go through the transcending process and transcend through our old patterns, and keep me updated as you're going through this incredible Stargate system. And let me know how that feels for you in your everyday life and what's going on with that. Okay? Love you guys. Bye.